crew. Yes.
Well, I also have at this moment in time Group Captain Dr. V.N. Jha with me on the broadcast. Sir, as we saw, of course, as we discuss all of this biased reportage emerging out of this preliminary investigation report, I would like to also draw your attention to the fact that the preliminary report, investigation report, clearly states that as per the information provided by Air India, provided by the airline, the suggested inspections regarding this issue flagged in the SAIB report, the suggested inspections for the same were not carried out as the SAIB was advisory and not mandatory. So, how significant does this revelation also become, especially considering all of these foreign media headlines attempting to pin the blame on the individuals flying the aircraft when the airline has stated that it did not carry out the suggested inspections as they were merely advisory in nature?
A couple of corrections. If they have not mentioned, I have been presiding officer. No, I have not been presiding officer. I was the medical member. I'm aerospace medicine specialist. I was the medical member in all this court of inquiry that I quoted to you. The second thing, if you read the report carefully, there is no doubt left. The report says the cutoff switches transitioned from run to cutoff. That's the clear word that is being mentioned. Now, this electrical contact that happened as either the switch is in the on position, run position, or it is in the off position. Until unless it comes to off position, that electrical indication will not go into the flight data recorder. So basically, the flight data recorder is showing that the switches have transitioned from run to the off position, and again 10 seconds later there is a transition from off position to the on position. These are the deliberate action, and that is why possibly all this international media have caught onto this. If this language is correct, what is in the preliminary finding, there is no room for any doubt hereafter. That means the pilot who is on control, his hands are apparently busy at that time of takeoff. He takes the action, he puts the nose up, and his attention is there. The other pilot is the one who will do any positive action at that time. So this switch transitioning, it is being lifted and put to the other position, one after another within 1 second, tells you that the other pilot possibly, I will not say for confirmation, but possibly it is the other pilot who has transitioned this. Well, electrical failure can happen, computer can malfunction, all those things can happen, but that computer will not transition the switch. It can cut off the valve. If there is an electrical failure, it will cut off the valve. Both engine will dwindle down. But how will the transition happen? This transition of switch from lifted off from one to other is the mere electrical contact which sends the signal to the FDR. So there is no room for any speculation here. I think there is nothing else to look after. It is the deliberate action by one or the other pilot, whosoever is possibly free. It has been done that. Why it has been done that? Let the entire team go into action. And I think whosoever media has read this, after reading this, I told you the exact word that is mentioned in the preliminary report. The cutoff switches transition from run to cutoff position, one after another with a time gap of 1 second. This cannot happen with the electrical failure or the other quoted electrical failure what was earlier. Engine can switch off. If there is electrical failure or if there is any other failure, engine can cut off. But the switches, being transitioned from one position to the other, that will not happen unless someone in the cockpit has done this. So I will leave it at that place. That is possibly NIA was also involved into this, and they will tell us what could have gone into the background of it. And I must tell you, this is not merely AAIB that has done this. AIB members were there in this. The DGCA members were there in that. They have also put in the member as a current pilot of 787 into this investigation. They have put another aviation medicine specialist in this investigation. They have put the aviation psychologist in this, along with some other maintenance staff. So I don't think there is any room for speculation, any room for guessing what could have happened. Only there is one guesswork right now to be done. Why the pilot lifted off that switch from the run to the off position, one after the another within 1 second. That is the question to be answered for everyone. And remaining everything is right now off the table. Nothing is left. If the FDR is showing you, there's a transitioning. I'm repeating this word. There's a transitioning of the switch from run to the off position, and then again after 10 seconds later, the switches has been again put from the off to the run position. This is deliberate action. This is the contact point of the off and on, which is gone to the FDR. So I don't think hereafter there is any room for speculation that if any electrical cutoff or any electrical failure or anything else has happened. It is the switch which has moved from run to off that has put the engines off. And again, 10 seconds later, the pilot has tried to relight the engine by switching on the switches by putting it on the run position, but there was not enough time left thereafter.
Well, sir, if we speak about the switches transitioning from the run to the cutoff position,